Hello, good evening. It's Lemurian Donna Carroll. I hope you're all feeling well and doing well today. It is July 4th, Sunday, and it is a holiday in the United States. Today I have decided to channel Quan, who always brings in very uplifting energy, very compassionate energy, similar to the energy of Yeshua or Jesus Christ. So I'm going to have her come in and bring in a message, and then after that, maybe we'll do a meditation. So I want to say hello to Angelique. Happy to see you here. Hope your mom's doing well or better. So without waiting another minute, here we go. If you have a piece of selenite, go ahead and grab it. It will help you absorb the energies. So at this time, I would like to bring in my highest and best healing and channeling guides. I'd like to bring in the archangels, Archangel Michael, Ariel, Raphael, and Gabriel. I'm asking for thousands upon thousands of warrior protection angels around me and anyone watching this live stream or anyone watching the video in the future. I ask that these angels block all negative entities, energies, and thought forms, and if anything's released by anyone here, I ask that these angels take it up to Source. Lastly, I ask for the energy of Quan to come in. And I also ask her to overlight this session, make my words clear, accurate, loving, and truthful. Amen. Okay, so now I'm going to have Quan come in and I'm going to leave. She'll take over my voice. Greetings, this is Quan, and I am very, very happy and excited to be with you here today. It is true that I lived thousands of years ago and I was a real person. I am not a myth. I am not a legend, and these legends that grew up around my person or persona are probably inflated and hyped. I was just a person that lived in China when China was in great distress and when there was much poverty and suffering all around. And so I chose to be a light in that poverty or to help alleviate the symptoms of suffering that were experienced by people that lived in my country. And so I come today with words of compassion, hope, and words of upliftment, as there have been many sufferings experienced in your world of late on a collective level and also on a personal level. I want to bring in the words of hope. Please understand that whatever you're going through, whatever you're experiencing, it is something that you can get through. If you are upset about your finances, a relationship, a misunderstanding, your business, whatever it is, please understand that this is ultimately an experience that you're having on the human plane of consciousness, but you can always rise further. You can always choose to leave the human state of consciousness, which is fraught with suffering and trials. And you can choose to align with your higher self and bring in the God-given energy that resides in the innermost core of your heart. I always looked above. I always connected to the above energies when life got difficult, when things ran astray, when things did not go as planned. I always connected with God, and I always found my peace, my resilience, and the energy to move forward from this connection. If I had to rely on the connection that I had in the earth realm or on the earth plane with humans, it would have been very difficult for me to find the recesses of energy to continue forward. As I spent my time looking after those who had lost hope, you could say they were the less fortunate, those that were looking for a meal or a place to lay their head, for those who were deeply saddened and buried in a sense of hopelessness about their journey upon this earth. It was a very difficult time period, and I honestly wanted to ease their pain. That was my call, that was my journey, and that is how I found solace and a purpose in my life. But for me to become refreshed myself, or to get the energy to keep going, I connected with the Godhead. And I did this every day, or almost every day. And I started doing this looking out my window as a child. I was very secluded and very sequestered and very protected. And the only idea of the outside world that I had was ultimately looking out my window, because when I went outside for any reason to the market or to shop, whatever, I was always accompanied by a guardian, usually a servant. And I was very, very protected from the outside world. I was even tutored, which was unusual at that time for a girl to be educated, but I was tutored at home. And so I don't regret this, because it kept me, in a sense, pure. It kept me pure. I easily connected with the spirits. You would call them the saints or the sages of old, and I could astral travel. I could leave my body at will. I could be with my friends in the spirit world and then come back to my residence. So it was okay, because I didn't feel like I was closed in, or I didn't feel like I did not have an escape, because unbeknownst to my parents, I did. Anyhow, I really want to talk to you today about anything that you're undergoing. If you have a problem in your life, let's say it's a lifelong problem. Let's say you have a problem with alcohol, with drug addiction, possibly sex addiction. Maybe you have issues with greed or with jealousy, or you have attributes that you're not entirely proud of. You know in your consciousness that the path that you're on, or what you're experiencing, is not to your liking. You wish that you could break free from all of these experiences or burdens that keep you tied and bound to the material world. I'm here to tell you that you can. With God's help, they say, God can move mountains, and this is true. If you really want to change your heart and have a change in your lifestyle or in the way that you're experiencing life, there are many, many souls and spirits, including myself, who will do their utmost to help you. The secret is surrendering to the divine, first of all, connecting to the good divine, believing in the divine, and then surrendering your problem and issue to the divine, to God. If you have a problem with alcohol, lay it down before God and say, I am powerless over this. I have tried to give it up. I have tried to leave it behind, and yet I keep getting called back. In your heart, have a transformation of what you want in your life. Use your will and surrender it before God. And God will bring in the resources, the energy, and the power to make this transformation happen in your life. Nothing is possible without the energy of God, because God is in everything. This world would not spin without the Creator. The plants would not grow. There would be no food to be had if it were not for the energy of God. So do not dismiss it. Understand that all problems can be overcome by the help and with the grace of God. This is what I really want to say to you today, because many of you, I can see, are losing hope with a particular situation, or you are feeling put upon. Please understand that if you are in a situation that is not healthy for you, then God will give you the energy, the power, and the means to leave. It is not a thing to test these energies. How to get them to work with you and for you is by surrendering your will to the will of the divine and bowing your head in deference to receive grace. Deference and respect and humility were very much favored in my culture, where I came from. And in today's societies, these attributes are all but unknown. There are few that surrender in deference to the grace from above. There are few that walk the world in humility and piety. But if you want to receive the favors and the energy from the Godhead, then this is a necessary prerequisite, no matter what anyone else will tell you. These traits of humility, respect, deference, love, and surrender are very, very necessary to evolve spiritually, which is what you are ultimately called to do. So the things in your path, the thorns in your side, the bumps on the road are not there to dissuade you from your hunger for enlightenment. They are there so that you can utilize the energy of the Godhead, utilize the energy of the spirits, the saints, the martyrs, all those who are leading the way, who came before you. You can utilize their energy to help you cross these difficult bumps on the road in your path. I am not immune to your suffering. I see how you feel and what is going on in your lives, especially if you work with me or call on me. I see that these times are troubled, just like the times that I lived in. However, these times are very troubled because the mass and scale of the troubles are global in nature. Also, please understand that even though it seems like your world is falling apart with currency changes, political changes, droughts, famine, floods, volcanoes erupting, etc., that This time has been prophesied by many scribes, prophets, and saints. And yes, it is a time of great transition. And yes, it is a time of great change. And even though there is much darkness, the light is coming up and breaking apart that darkness. As the saying goes, it is always darkest before the dawn. So I want to again reiterate that you are here for a reason. You all have very specific gifts to offer humanity, to offer all life forms on this planet. You are here to go to a better place of consciousness, to ascend to a higher and better earth that is more suited for people that live with an open heart. Now, getting into your heart and living with an open heart is not easy. And the true spiritual travelers, the courageous ones, will always stand with an open heart and love through all types of difficult times. This is what makes them people that have ascended, and throughout their journeys they always hold on to the light. And yes, they can go through a dark night of the soul, but essentially they always come back to the light within themselves. So I want to offer you hope, reassurance, and support. I want you to know that you are not alone, that many are going through difficult times, and that there is help available for you. And so, again, you can call on me, Quan Yin, to assist or help you, and I will do so in any way that I can. I will run interference for you if you call out my name. And there are many like me who will do the same. So avail yourselves to us, because we are not embodied. And because we are not embodied, we have a greater view. We have a better perspective, and we can see far from the reality in which we live. And we will help you to the utmost of our ability. So if you have a plague in your life, you have something that is bothering you, something that you are living with that you do not want to live with anymore, lay down your heart, give it up to God, and let yourselves be healed. And this is my message today for you. And now I would like to send you some healing energy from my heart to yours. And the channel will bring my energy out through her hands. And we will go into a guided meditation. And at this time, I send you light, I send you love, and I send you healing into the core of your heart. And I ask that you receive it now. And I love you all. This is Quan Yin. Amen. And receive. May peace, joy, and the mana from heaven be with you now and always. Quan Yin. And now the channel will come back. Very nice. Thank you for that message of hope, and we need to hear that sometimes because I know a lot of you are going through some issues right now. So just remember to always call on your guides. Doesn't have to be Quan Yin. You can call on the guide that you're closest to or the guide that specializes in the problem that you have. But hubris, arrogance, ego is a huge problem, and it gets in the way of healing. So if you want to be healed, then you need to surrender your heart and ask for God's help, usually through His enlightened ones, and they will help you. And the more you can move your ego aside, the more you'll benefit. So I know this from experience. I just want to reiterate that. I hope that you all have a great week, and I wish you all the best. Amen. Bye-bye.